look at.
Okay, so the next question is from Professor Prabhat Ranjan, who is the Vice Chancellor of D.Y. Patil International University in Pune. So he asks that the economy of a country plays a very important role in the success of a research university. So most of the examples that you've used are from developed countries. So it's in conjunction to another question that I've got from another person. So how does a developing country like India make like an average university into a great one like Caltech? Because the country context becomes very different and the economic context becomes very different.
Yeah, so it's a very good question, clearly, and clearly there is the advantage that now that places, environments like in the US or elsewhere have. But keep in mind that when Stanford was created, there was nothing there. It was, that's why it's called the farm. It was empty fields. When Caltech was created, there was absolutely nothing in Pasadena. So it took time even in those places. But to answer your question, you also have to look at what happened. I take the example of Singapore is a good one. Singapore, even 25 years ago, had universities, but they were not great universities. They were good, but not at best good. And Singapore, as a small country, but a country in evolution, made the commitment. It made the commitment to really decide, okay, we are going to create great universities. And the commitment implied resources, obviously, and the implied partnership with other institutions. So it shows it can be done. However, in a situation like India, I think what you have to do, and that's what I hope the Geo Institute can do, is to leverage your environment. There are some outstanding people in India, I know that for sure, and you can try to bring them together to provide them an environment where they will have some level of resources available to them to think long term, and always again encourage them to think out of the box. If you encourage them only to answer the question that one corporation is having today, that may be useful, but it may not create a great institution. You have to place them in a mode to look long term. But ultimately, and I'm not trying to go around not to answering your question, ultimately, I think the country, the founders of the institution need to appreciate that resources are needed, sustained resources are needed, as well as facilities. Now, I mentioned to you a lot that the environment makes a difference. You know, I told you my story about walking around the MIT campus. Yeah, I was excited and I could see there is something happening by talking to people, but they're also in a place, in an environment where you feel you want to work, you want to live. So all those things are important. But and always I come back, don't hesitate to start small and focus on a small number of really outstanding people. And if you do that, over time you start to create a nucleus, and it will do well, I believe, over time.
The next question is